Welcome and good afternoon, everyone, to In the Tank Live with Keith Dale and Aaron Harrison. We're here. We're rocking and rolling, and it's Work Wednesday, and I can't wait. 20 minutes ago, I started thinking about my life as I was sitting here and thinking of all the conversations I've had this week so far, and it's special. It's really special when you can bless and release. Real quick. What's going on, Christine? And blessing, releasing the outcome. There's so much power in that. What's going on, Doug? And I'm going to talk about it in a little bit because honestly, that was the magic. I was talking to a young man last night who's going through a transition, and we go through transitions. We know how powerful a transition can be when we're in alignment with our purpose. And when there's distractions around us, it's going to come down to how well you can bless and release those expectations, those thoughts, those fears, those ideas that don't serve where it is that you want to go. You know what I mean? What's going on, Aaron? What's up, Michelle? How we doing, girl? And so what I wanted to talk to y'all today about was really how I found bless and releasing has really been a tool in my toolbox, because there's so many times where we get caught up, right? We get caught up in expectation. We get caught up in trust, as we talked about yesterday. We get caught up in the result. We get caught up in significance. Holy smokes, do we? Right? The ego part of living. And I was listening to Pastor Mike the other day. And for those who don't know Pastor Mike, part of Transformation Church, I think he's down in the South, in Texas. But he's an amazing speaker, and he has so much insight. But what he was talking about the two controls in our life, right? The two controls in our life. And so we have the human side of us and we have the spiritual side of us. And so on an ongoing basis, those two are battling, right? From the moment you wake up, it's ding, ding. The battle is on. Which side are you going to choose? The flesh or the spirit? And so as we talk about blessing and releasing, I think this is where we get to choose. Our free will is so powerful, guys. And if we let that go and we don't allow the choice to be of ours, man, I tell you what, it can steer us one way or the other. And so when we talk about blessing and releasing, we have to have gratitude. And we have to have gratitude for the moment that we have in front of us. And so many of us, wherever we are in our life, we can find that gratitude piece to be the last thing we think of in a stressful moment or an overwhelming moment when your to-do list is absolutely ridiculous. And so when we can really harness in on blessing, releasing, we give the gratitude, we give the thanks for whatever it is that's in front of us, whoever it is in front of us, the opportunity in front of us, and we say, you know what? Is this serving my purpose? Is this in alignment with what I believe in? And that's a whole other conversation. But is this in alignment with where I want to be and become? And if it isn't, then I have to bless and release it. I have to let it go. I have to thank you for showing me where I'm at right now and allowing me to give me that choice. And so how many of you out there right now have felt that pressure of where something is right in front of you, it's distracting you, yet it needs attention, and haven't had a chance to bless and release it? How many of you have experienced that? How many of you guys, just a thumbs up, heart, something, just let me know that you hear what I'm saying. So many times in life, we hold on to things that aren't serving us. We're holding on to things that aren't bringing us forward, that aren't bringing us more of what we want. And we hold on to these things. Yes, Christine, we hold on to these things because we think we may need it later. And here's the thing. If you hold on to it now, right, without working on it, then really, what are you holding on to it for? Let it go. Those thoughts that don't serve you, that fear of getting out of your comfort zone, like, is that serving you? Are you holding on to that fear just in case to protect something that may or may not be real? Like, think about this for a moment. And as you start to think about that, what right now can you let go? What can you allow yourself to bless and release in your life and allow yourself that freedom? Yeah, Aaron, it's really easy and simple. However, it's a challenge because we have the fear of missing out, right? That whole FOMO thing. We have a fear of missing out. What if I bless and release this and I need it later? It's almost like clutter in your house, right? You start collecting things. And you collect things everywhere to the point where now you need space for something you really, really want. and now you can't figure out what to throw away. And the whole time is that when you realize that you didn't need that thing, or the box that's been sitting in the corner for the last year, right? You could have threw that out a long time ago. But yet you didn't even think of it, and now it's time for it to go, and you're like, oh my gosh, dang it, I gotta throw this stuff away, I gotta do spring cleaning, I gotta do all this overwhelming stuff, and I find myself in that box all the time. And so I adopted this whole bless and release concept because I know that if I bless it and say thank you and give gratitude to whatever it is, right? I know that it will always be part of me, but I can release it for now, because right now it's not the direction I'm going in. It's not the direction that is serving me. It's not helping me with my thought process. It's not helping me with the way that I want to live. And we see it in our careers. We see it in our relationships. You know, I was talking to a young lady at the gym today who's going through some rocky roads in her relationship. And she said that she didn't even realize what she was missing, right, in her relationship, and she found another path that was filling her void, right, the human side of us, and it was a very sinful place. It was something that she should have stayed away from, but yet it was an eye opener for her to be like, holy smokes, I got to bless and release that, because it's harming what it is that I've really loved about XYZ. So it's interesting in how we can manipulate our thoughts to think we need things when really we should bless and release it. And so I thought about that today, and, let go of comparison, especially. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Keeping up with the Joneses, expectation of others. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was talking about how actually, I was listening to a book. I was listening to the Speed of Trust by Stephen Covey. If you guys don't know about that book, find out about it, right? I listen to a lot of books. And so as I was listening to it, it started talking about, that trust and expectation. And as a child, how we're so free to be ourselves. And I see my children all the time, and they'll tell me and they'll ask me what they want all the time, and they won't accept no for an answer, right? And there'll be a point where I have to make some adjustments in the way that I parent, because if I continue to tell them no, then they're going to start use that as limitations, and they're going to start using that as a comparison. Well, why does so-and-so get to do it and I can't? Right? They start comparing. Why can they play the Switch during the week and I can't? Right? And so what I've adopted in the bless and release of being a parent is the no factor, and translating that into not right now, right? The timing. Teaching someone timing is so key. And, again, the comparison part, and we talk about timing, think about it. If you're comparing yourself to something else, make sure that both have value and you're using it, right? You're using it as an evaluation of what to do next and why to do it, not as you have this and I don't, or why can you do and I can't. Like those type of things, right? Those comparisons, those are harmful, but we have to find value in it so that it's not harmful, it's actually valuable, right? And we can bless and release the fact that we're not comparing, we're just evaluating what it is that we want and getting more of it. And seeing it is believing it. So now you can say, well, you know what? If so-and-so did it, so can I. It's not of a lack of, it's actually an abundance of. What's up, Trev? What's going on, man? And so as we talk about bless and release, and Christine talks about it feels good to release finally, right? Been told she's been holding on to something that has not been making her move forward or not letting her move forward. And so finally releasing it and want the way to release now too. And so it's interesting, Christine, as you talk about blessing, releasing, transformation. And again, it's progress that we seek. Okay. It's not the rush of, it's not the intensity. I tell people too, consistency beats intensity all the time. And so don't run into a situation with this intense feeling, right? That's necessary in some cases. But Jeff, definitely not this in transformation. What's going on, Corey? How you doing? And so as we talk about transformation and we talk about growth, we start thinking about how can we be creative? How can we be innovative? How can we be imagination driven, where we're saying, okay, well, what can I do now to transition into the next step and next phase of my life? Not in comparison with others, but saying, you know what? Why not me? Right? Not why me, but why not me? How am I holding myself back right now? What am I not blessing and releasing in my life? What are the shackles that are holding me back? What is drowning me? What is holding me back from being the greatness that I've been developed in? And so you can use this as a tool to allow yourself to grow. Absolutely, Corey. Absolutely. And you can use this as a tool to grow and surround yourself with people that are driven on growth and driven on challenge, right? You see it. Are you up for the challenge? Right? Are you up for the challenge? And that's a question you must ask yourself every day, because every day is a challenge. It's a brand new day. We get to choose with it what we wish. And we can choose the flesh or we can choose the spirit. See, I chose the spirit because I know the spirit's more abundant than my flesh. Right? Take that tree I talked about earlier, for instance, right? The tree doesn't know any different. That's why it keeps growing. Right? The tree knows no different. Nobody can tell a tree to stop growing. Right? You try to put a tree in a house. Right? You say, you know what? I'm going to put this wall around this tree, right? And I'll put a ceiling on it. I'm going to plant this seed and I'm going to let it grow for the next 100 years. You think that wall or ceiling is going to exist in the next 100 years? No. The tree doesn't know any different. It knows no leaps and bounds. All it knows is I'm going to grow. And an amazing dance still only starts with one step at a time. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? That tree keeps growing. And so now as we step forward into this transformation of ourselves, right? Whether it be physically, financially, emotionally, mentally, right? This big one right here, right? The transformation of the mind and working on ways you think and the ways that you transform where it is that you adjust things in your life. That's huge. And so as we take that, bless and release can be a great tool. It can be like that cure-all, right? That tussin, that bless and release, because you can just let it go. You can let it go and know that it will always be there, man. It will be there when you want to pick it up, right? When you bless and release something, you can always pick it back up. You can always adopt it back. That's the beauty of it. However, if you hold it for too long, now it becomes an obstacle, a distraction for what it is that you really want to put in that place. You see what I'm saying? And so allow that abundance to flourish in your heart. Allow yourself to make the choice of the spirit where it's more abundant, where it doesn't know bounds. It doesn't know limitation. It knows love. It knows character. It knows creativity. It knows abundance. Change your belief system. That was programmed by someone else. Exactly, right? We have to change our blueprint. We have to change our blueprint. What we've been creating, right? What we've been creating has been something special. Let's not ignore that. Let's start thinking about, well, you know what? Where else in my life do I need to bust through the box? Do I I'll start handing out box cutters again and say, you know what? Cut a little hole out the box, look through it, and see what else is out there for you. See what else is out there for you to grow with, right? Who else is out there? You know, it's different. It's different. I know. It's something that's not conventional. However, no longer will we have to accept conventional. We don't have to do that anymore. Ask, yeah, exactly. Ask what I want. Instill your belief around that. And that's the key, right? Ask more questions. Understand more, right? Understand more about how we live and how we design and how we develop. You know, I was talking to a young lady this morning too. She was saying that she felt that the decisions that she was making, right, was part of a spiritual warfare that was going on within inside of her, and she didn't even know it was going on, and it was attacking all the things that she loved. And she said, you know what, I had to reset my belief. I had to reset my faith. I had let myself get too caught up in the flesh. And I tell you guys, I mean, I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm here to share with you what I found that works for me and what I believe, you know, and if it works for you, great. Adopt that, find it. Find the love and the abundance inside your heart. And I tell you right now, the flesh will never win. The flesh will never outdo the spirit. It will never outdo the spirit. And so we must allow ourselves to bless and release and allow something bigger than us to handle those things that are outside of our human belief, right? And allow ourselves to grow in abundance and allow opportunity to come and flourish, because I'll tell you right now, it's your choice. It's your choice. And I'm excited about this Work Wednesday. I'm excited about the lives that I get to work with. I'm excited about the questions that I love asking. You know, the most important one, what 3 areas of your life are you looking to improve on? Right? And, you know, and depending on what it is that they are struggling with, I guarantee you it's a limitation that has been set on them either by someone else or themselves. Right? And so I asked them, I said, well, you know what is it going to take for you? What is it going to take? What do you need to believe and make that transition? Do you believe if you let go of this thing, it's going to hurt you or help you? And a lot of times, it's just getting rid of the clutter, right? It's getting rid of the things that are in the way by blessing and releasing them and saying, you know what, I'll grab onto that when it's ready. You know, I'll allow that back into my life when I'm ready. But right now, it's in the way. I need some room. right? I need some room, just like that tree. You put that tree in a house, it's going to grow, and eventually it may struggle a little bit getting through that roof, depending on what material was built with it, but eventually it will find a way and it will bust through because it says, you know what? I need some room. I'm going to grow. And at the end of the day, I'm going to the top. I'm going to the top, and there's nothing going to stop me because I realize that I have greatness within me, right? Yes, absolutely, Corey. It could really be misunderstood because it could be like you think you're losing something good, and you're not losing anything. Matter of fact, you're storing it in a safe place by blessing, releasing it. You're storing it in a safe place that you can recall back later. And so that's the message that I wanted to share today, is really understanding how powerful of a tool bless and release could be. Yes, there is no hate. It just means the distraction or person doesn't serve your belief. Exactly. It's a moving on. It's an evaluation process all through life. And at the end of the day, our free will and the things that we adopt in our life are choices that we have made. We don't have to do anything. We get to do everything. And so for all those who have chimed in today, I thank you so much for being the heartbeat of this. I know Keith he's out there, got spring break. His kids are off. He's doing house stuff. And so this is how we do it. We yin and yang it, man. We make it happen. And so for all those who have chimed in today and been the heartbeat of this broadcast, please continue to share that message with others, allowing others that permission. Just saying, hey, listen, it's okay to bless and release things. Let it go. Let go and let God. That's what I say. Because I know God's box is much bigger than mine. I know he can put a lot more things in his storage than I can in mine. Right? And so I'm going to use that as a resource to grow and to be abundant. And for the hundreds of thousands that will see this on replay, continue to keep abundance in your mindset and understanding that there are no limitations other than the ones that you set for yourself. You were designed to be great. You were put here to be great. And now it's time for you to show up for others to allow them the permission to be great as well. God bless y'all. Work Wednesday. Let's turn it up. Let's make it happen, guys. And let's be out there showing others what's possible by leading by example. God bless y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Take care.